You know, it occurs to me that we're all like that basket. I mean, we can look, some of us, pretty good on the outside. We can look like something really worth having, a friend worth bringing home. We can look that way. But once you get to know any of us, we are all infested. We're infested with bad habits and dysfunctions and besetting sins and addictions and every single one of us. No matter how we may look on the outside. There are no perfect people anywhere, ever. You know, wearing that mask is heavy and it's hard to hold up. And we hold it up like crazy, and sometimes we get so weary of doing it that we just drop the mask a little bit and we self-reveal. And when I have done that, do you know what by far the most common response is other people have when I self-reveal? They go, me too. Oh yeah, some feel the need to go, oh, well, there's a Bible verse that I believe can help you with that, Dave. There are a few of those. But most people are like, oh, really? You are? Shh. There are no perfect people. Here's a second insight that might help us venture into the unknown territory of God's new rules. I'll state it this way. There's no change without dropping the mask. There's no overcoming bad habits. There's no breaking free from addictions. There's no fixing those character flaws. There's no finally booting that besetting sin to the door without dropping our mask and deciding we are going to be real. No more hiding, no more pretending. This is who I am. There's no change without dropping the mask. It is impossible. Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 13 says this: he who conceals, he who hides his sin does not prosper. But whoever confesses and renounces them finds mercy. The person who hides his sins does not prosper. The word hide means to cover up, to cloak, so as to not be seen by others. And the word prosper means to make progress, to succeed. Scripture is saying as long as we are going to cover things up, as long as we're going to hide behind a mask, in that darkness we never make progress, we never grow, we never become successful in life. Remember last week we talked about the metaphor of the pot of dirt? And one thing that we know is, we know this: if there's a pot of dirt and we were going to plant a seed in it, and we were going to take care of the soil, if that was ever going to grow, it needs light. Let there be light. I learned that in seminary. Right there. Because we all know, I mean, you can take care of stuff, right? And you plant those seeds, but the one thing, if that miracle of life is going to happen that only God can do, if it's going to happen, it requires light for it to take place. And what we know is if something were to block the light, the miracle of growth can't happen. And you and I are kind of like this pot of dirt, and God has planted seeds of life in us, destiny, who we were meant to be, and we need to take care of the soil so that God can do his thing, and we need to take care of our relational environment so that God is free to do his thing. But what happens is we take our masks out. And as long as we cover our problems with our mask, we block the light. And in the darkness, things can't grow. And we can look all nice to everybody else out there, but behind the mask there is a darkness in our soul that means we cannot grow, we cannot progress, we cannot change, we cannot be the people we need to be. And it's why we put on the front and try to fix fix ourselves and put on the front and try to fix ourselves. And it never works for long or for real. And the only way for that to change is to say, no more mask. I'm going to take it off and be honest so the light can just shine and reveal me for who I really am. And in that environment, change is now possible. There is no change apart from dropping the mask. Can I offer this third insight that might make it a little easier to venture into this new rules thing? There are people of grace who are saved. There are people that have been strategically placed by God in your life. They are in this room. They are in the small group. They might be where you work. They might be in your neighborhood. They might be in your family. There are people of grace around you who are safe. These are people who themselves have experienced the grace of God. They've come clean with God about who they are. They've gotten real with themselves and God about it. And they have experienced that God accepts them as is. That God is eager not to condemn, but to forgive and to erase all the things that were done wrong and reconcile into a secure relationship. And in that security, they and God are just working on doing life right. There are people like that in your life. And those people are eager to hear about the real you and funnel the grace they got from God right into your heart. There is an incredible power in being known as you really are and having someone else love you and accept you. That will change your life forever. Proverbs 28:13, the one who hides sin doesn't make progress. But the one who confesses and forsakes, not the one who just tries to forsake, confesses and forsakes. And we sometimes take that verse wrong and we think it means God. Because we are supposed to confess our sin to God, right? But you can't hide your sin from God. So it says the one who tries to cover and hide is not from God. That can't be done. It's from each other. And the one who confesses to others shall find mercy, compassion. It's so hard to come up with an English word that conveys the idea of the Hebrew word originally penned. And the root of that original Hebrew word means to love deeply. To love so deeply that if you see someone in distress, in need, even if that distress and need is of their own making, you feel compelled to do something to help. There is a love, a deep love that you and I will experience and only experience when we get real, open up, self-reveal, and they love us and accept us just as we are. And that gives us such security that we can live our lives confidently. There was this man who lived a long time ago. Hated Christianity. His mission was to destroy Christianity from the face of the earth. He received orders from the prevailing religious body in that culture to be able to hunt down Christians, mark them, brand them, imprison them, even put them to death, if that's what it took. And his reputation grew, and in the eyes of the religious, his esteem was high. And in the eyes of Christians, he was feared, because him showing up meant you could be drugged to jail, your family could be separated, you could die.